I want to talk about the bigger macro picture. But here's where the macro picture becomes so critical, ladies and gentlemen. Technology alone rarely drives financial revolutions. Let this sink in. Marinate on this. Macro conditions matter too. Liquidity, regulation, institutional readiness. When those forces align, adoption tends to accelerate. Some analysts believe those conditions may gradually be forming. Global liquidity cycles are evolving. Regulatory clarity is slowing, improving. Institutions are exploring digital infrastructure, and governments are building frameworks rather than attempting to eliminate the technology. None of these developments guarantee a specific outcome, but together they create an environment where experimentation becomes possible. So what exactly are investors watching right now? Several things. First, liquidity conditions. If global financial conditions loosen over time, capital often begins flowing towards emerging technologies. Second, regulation. Clear legal frameworks reduce uncertainty and allow institutions to participate more confidently. Third, infrastructure development. The networks capable of handling large-scale financial transactions will attract the most attention. This is why discussions about blockchain settlement systems continue gaining momentum, because infrastructure decisions made today can shape financial systems for decades. The pattern of technology adoption, ladies and gentlemen, this is massive. History shows that technological revolutions rarely happen overnight. Instead, they follow a pattern. First comes experimentation, then early adoption, then gradual integration, and eventually widespread use. The internet followed this exact trajectory. In the early 90s, very few people understood its potential. By the early 2000s, it had reshaped entire industries. Blockchain may follow a similar path, still evolving, still debated, but increasingly explored by the institutions that operate the global financial system. So the XRP question. So where does XRP fit into this picture, you might ask? That remains one of the biggest questions in the digital asset space. XRP was designed for fast cross-border value transfer in mind. If blockchain infrastructure becomes part of the financial future, technologies with proven settlement capabilities could attract attention, but the outcome is far from certain. Financial systems evolve slowly. Competition between technologies is intense, and regulatory decisions will ultimately shape the path forward. The fact that these discussions are even happening right now highlights how far the digital asset industry has come. So, my final thoughts. When you step back and look at the broader picture, something fascinating is unfolding. Global finance is evolving. Technology is changing how value moves. Institutions are exploring blockchain infrastructure, and central banks are navigating how digital systems fit into the financial landscape. Whether XRP becomes a central part of the future remains to be seen, but the conversation itself reflects a much larger transformation, one where the rails of global finance may gradually modernize, just as they may have many times before throughout history. But every major financial era eventually introduces new infrastructure. And when those transitions happen, markets rarely remain the same. So here's the question I'd like to leave with you. If even a small percentage of the global financial system eventually moves on to blockchain infrastructure, what role do you think networks like XRP could play? Do you believe traditional finance will fully embrace blockchain technology, or will it build entirely new systems of its own? Let me know in your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more deep dives into the macro forces shaping the future of crypto and global finance.